Okay, guys, let's talk about Palantir, one of the best stocks of this year that has happened. We're closing into 2025. Is this thing going to keep going up? Me personally, I'm kind of like holding off till I get a good opportunity. I kind of do need to see a correction. I'm not saying this thing's going to just plummet down, but to buy it up in here, it just doesn't seem to make too much sense, especially using my strategy. And I see this happen a lot. Yes, it can keep going up, and no worries about that. I think this is one of the most strongest uptrends that I've seen in quite some time. Okay. And if you look at this weekly chart, look at this. We are literally hugging this red band, which is a Keltner channel. It's at a setting called ATR4, which is extremely overextended. So if you get like really above, then you come back to reality, which is usually the EMA5. So you get up here, come back to the EMA5, get a pump, come back to the EMA5, get a pump, and you're kind of like, shifting in here. But a lot of times it can do this pattern where it goes up in here, plummets all the way down to the 10. But when I'm looking at this chart, we've been on this uptrend all the way back in May of 2023. This was very clear here, and this is how you get into these massive uptrends. If you look at the weekly chart, Palantir has broke to a downtrend back in 2021. We started this downtrend when you see this EMA 50 break below. So, like, for example, you get a bounce here, make a massive move, right? Get a bounce here, made a massive move here, and then get close, make a move, and then you finally go down. The reason why I like this strategy is because you're going to get those couple bounces, right? Before the market usually tanks it all the way down. This was a 40%. If we go up to this region right here for the next bounce, that was another 40%. So nice big moves, but the more times you touch this, it's more likely going to break down. And this is what we have here. We had this massive downtrend. And then for years, we've had, from 2021 all the way up till 2023, it's a solid like 2 years of just downtrending, right? It was like the worst stock ever. Everyone hated it. It was all the way up, here, and then we got down to $5. And then we recently started to make an uptrend when we see this big bullish candle hit this upper band. And then you can see why playing it on the EMA5 is very smart. We make this move up, we play it on this EMA5, and guess what? We make a massive move from here to here. That was a 44% gain, and we just kept bouncing and bouncing it. But keep in mind, the more times you touch it, just like I said on that scenario on that EMA 50, making that downtrend, you touch the 5, touch the 5, touch the 5, and you eventually come down to the 10. But the thing is, these EMAs go up as in time. So by the time it touched this 10, you're above this 5, okay? So you could keep playing it on this 5 and keep getting these bounces. You touch the 10, and you don't really get a bounce at the 10. And that's fine. It can do that and could go right through the 20. So we dropped from 20 bucks all the way to 13. And then we go bounce, and you can easily get out from here to here, making it 20%, and even recovered from your initial entry from the 10. And that's how I like to do. I say powder for these levels. These are your big support levels. Instead of saying, you can look and analyze the chart and be like, okay, there's nice support right in here. You can see when price comes up, comes back down, and makes that new high. Well, we touch this 10. Okay, we know some big supports here, so we come back to the 20, and that's where that last big support was too. So you're coinciding entry points with the EMAs of where the algos like to pump it. So you get a nice pump here, come back to the 20, get a nice pump, come back to the 20, get a nice pump, and you see how the more times you touch it, you break through this 20, right? This was probably earnings right in here is what caused that big spike. But and then we eventually come down to the 50, and to a T, the algos pump it at this 50, and that's where it made the biggest gain ever. So looking at this, would I play it if it comes to the 5? No, just because of this scenario of we touch the 5, bounce up, touch the 5, bounce up, touch the 5, bounce up. So anything more than 3 touches, in my opinion, gets dangerous, and we look for that next level down, which is around $67. $67. So obviously this is going to fluctuate as time goes. So what is my buying area? So obviously I'm going to look for 2 buy areas right here. I'm looking for EMA 10 and then EMA 20. Those are my 2 buy areas on the weekly chart. And then I can see, okay, what is the big support zones? Well, this is your big support zone right here where we had this massive candle here. We break out. And then we had that retest pattern where we retest the upper of this big strong candle, which is near the EMA 5, and then you make this big move up. So I know all throughout in these 2 areas, I am at a big buy zone, so I put my rectangle here, and I say, okay, all through in this rectangle, I'm looking for buys from up, $67 all the way to 55. It's a massive range. Do I see it just plummeting down and going right through the 10? Not really. I think we can hit the 10 and then make new highs. So my scenario is, let's say we go to the 10 here, we come to that box here, and then we kind of make that new highs. But I have to have a plan B. What if it just goes straight down and does this scenario, right? What if it just goes, hits this 10 and decides to go all the way here to where this support was? Well, then I have powder to average down in here. And if it just doesn't work like my way, I sell covered calls, and I know in time this will go up. So you can always go to options, go to single, and sell covered calls. If you own 100 shares, you can sell one call option to make passive income. You can go throughout here. I usually do like 19 a month out. And let's say, for example, let's say you got it here and here, and your average is at $61. Well, you can sell covered calls and say, you want to kind of go above your average, so that way if it exercises, if a price goes above 61 at the expiration of your covered calls, you will have to be executed at 61. So let's say you sell them and price goes all the way back to $80. Well, then you have to sell it at 61. But the good side is you're making money until it works in your favor. So I could sell, all these way out in here and make massive premium. Let's say I sell the 83, you can see the premium that you get. But that's another lesson that I would love to show you guys. I think you guys are going to really love that. But that's my strategy here. My first thing is getting in the position. What I would like to do is EMA 10. If my thesis holds right, we go to this EMA 10. We've hit this EMA 5 quite some times. Physically 1, 2, and 3. So we'll see what happens there. We've had, on the daily, we had a nice little drawdown here. We had about a 3% drawdown here. You can look at the news, nothing really alarming. The analysts, we have a sell, we have a hold, and then we have some buys. So it's just kind of mixed. They don't really know what to think about it. Obviously, it's in, it made a massive move. I mean, look at this chart. We had this big move up, and it just kept, we had this drawdown, and then we kept going up and up from there. This is the monthly chart. This is really what scares me. Usually, this is due for a pullback, and I would like to see that as we're hitting this upper band here. Maybe we can see kind of a monthly balance, because price isn't going to be sustained up in this area. Price can hug it like this, but and everything in the stock markets and any price action, price has to be balanced. And that's why I had these Keltner channels. If price gets above this Keltner channel, well, we would look for price to pull back. In a monthly candle chart, this is a massive uptrend. I just don't want to short it unless if I see like a daily. The only times I do short stocks, like for example, when Palantir had this massive move up in here, you could decide to short it, right? As long with time distance. Price has to hit the EMA 5 in roughly 7 daily candles. So if you see price away from this EMA 5 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daily candles, you could short these next corrections to these EMA 5s. And it's kind of decent wins, right? Especially if you're doing options, like this one was a 5% win. Doing options, you make way more than that. So you can see how we get up in here on a lower time frame, we come back down. We come up to this upper band, we come back down. So now we're kind of like shifting on this EMA 10. I'm more looking forward to the weekly EMA 10 as it's a stronger signal. So we'll see from here. That's my Palantir analysis. We'll see if I'm correct and see what we do. But there's nothing to be alarming. I think this is a nice uptrend. We've been doing this uptrend since 5/12/2023, so about 7 months have just been uptrending, right? The only thing is, be careful. If it does start to downtrend, you can get this massive downtrend happening. So that's why, for me personally, I kind of want to just kind of wait, see if we get these 10s, this 10 and 20 bounces here, and if all else fails, I know I have a good company. I can sell covered calls, and in time this will keep going up. So I just don't feel safe buying it way up in here, especially with a monthly candle just over-empowering this Keltner channel, which is extremely overextended. So we might get some drawdown, and a correction is needed. That's all I'm saying. A correction is definitely needed. So yeah, we'll go from there. If you guys do want to join the premium Discord and look for my most undervalued stocks that I think are in the beginning of an uptrend, just like when Palantir was in the beginning of an uptrend, where was that at? Well, that's when they started shifting. You want to find these stocks when they start shifting out of a downtrend, and then they make the uptrends, right? As you can see right here, Palantir started shifting out of the downtrend when you see this EMA 50 at the bottom. So when we come back to the CMA 5, you had this big move up. When you come back to the 10 and 20, that's when you buy, and we had these big moves up, and it keeps going up and up and up. And then you play the 10 and 20 again, and it keeps going up, and then you play the 50, and it keeps going up. We've only touched the 50 since this whole uptrend. So I have no doubt about this 50 is going to keep going up, and we'll probably get another bounce on that. So that's the secret of playing the bigger cap stocks, is finding the trend early when they make the uptrend, and then find those pullbacks to buy into it. If you guys like this video and you want to join the Discord, you guys are more than welcome. Click the link down below in the YouTube comments below, and in the description, it'll say join the premium Discord for my alerts and system. It'll take you to this free chat landing page. If you want to become a member, please read how to subscribe. Basically, if you have an Android, you will have to subscribe on your computer. Apple iOS phones work just fine, but it is better to do it because you avoid the iOS fee. And if you have an Android, if you don't have a computer, just subscribe on your phone's browser like Google or Chrome. Or Google or Safari. Avoid scammers. I'll never message or DM your accounts. Never mirror trade. This service is to, one, it gives you signals of what I'm looking for so you can understand it. But more importantly, I give you the education to find these trades and understand them. If you hit day trade alerts, you will see exactly the membership here under subscriptions. These are all locked until you subscribe. If you hit day trade alerts, you will be a member for only $12 a month, and you will have access to all future alerts, all future education, present education, and then the day trades and swing trades combined for a low cost of $12 a month. And if, like I said, if you subscribe on your computer, you'll avoid the iOS fee. If you do it on your phone's app, it will charge you probably $13, $14 for the iOS fee. That's just to help you guys out. If you guys just want swing trades, it's $6 a month, and you can hit swing trade alerts, and that will give you access to that. But you can read through them in the server shop here and what you're getting. I kind of lay it out. I think, honestly, try the both. Even if you don't have a lot of time throughout the day trading is not time consuming. You place a day trade and then you go on throughout your day. I have a very unique approach of day trading that has an over 90% win ratio of selling credit spreads. I think you guys are going to love the strategy that I have, and you can make passive income every day, and it works amazing for smaller accounts, and then bigger accounts you just make more. So whereas swing trades, like in my Palantir my Palantir analysis, I'm looking to get in on the EMA 10 and 20. I might hold this a week, I might hold this a month, and that's just money sitting in there, right? Whereas my day trades are going to make me money every day, and I put them into bigger investment companies that I don't mind holding, so I can make money on my swing trades too. So, and that's the purpose of it. You use the day trade money to put it into the longer term stocks like Palantir, and then you just hold those in time, and then you just, that way you have something to do every day. Hope you guys like this video. If you, like I said, if you want to join, just hit day trade alerts and you'll get access to everything. And if you guys want to join, the link's down below in the YouTube comments below. Hope to see you guys in there. Give this video a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.